Ladies and gentlemen, on this historic occasion, I'm sure you, like myself, would like to hear from the guest of honor. So, without further ado, here he is, the leader of the once great northern tribes, Cheif Runs With Scissors. Oh, and thank you for allowing me to speak. I was asked to bring 100 of our best warriors, and I would like to introduce a few of them to you. First, the members of my war council. This is Blue Moon, Red Fox, Green Acres, Brown Stain, and Yellow Submarine. And of my personal council, this is Walks on Sunshine, Drips with Mucus, Throws Like Girl, and Three Bears. And yes, Three Bears does enjoy porridge very much. I admit that I was very skeptical about being invited here to negotiate a new peace treaty with the whites. You see, we have been deceived many times before. In fact, I think the last time our tribes were invited to sign a treaty, our negotiators were hung by the neck till dead. And I was told that this is a joke that white people often play on each other, and I have struggled to understand the white man's sense of humor. Apparently, when someone is killed painfully and unjustly, it makes you laugh. And by that standard, the native tribe's history with the whites would be considered a big joke. When you English first came to settle in Jamestown, you brought terrible diseases that killed many of our people. Despite this, our chiefs decided to help the people of Jamestown and feed them and keep them alive during the first difficult years. Our chiefs trusted the white governor when he spoke of living together and sharing the land in peace. But the chiefs did not understand the white man's sense of humor, and this was a joke about taking all of the land. Our chiefs learned this lesson too late, when the governor brought his soldiers to the village and unprovoked began putting our people to the sword. Our people ran for their lives as the soldiers set their homes on fire, burning the whole village to the ground. Our village mother was taken captive, and they were going to burn her alive too. But someone said, "We cannot do this. This woman and our people helped us, and we are good Christians. We should show her mercy." And they all agreed they would show her mercy and not burn her alive. So instead they stabbed her with a knife till she was dead. Now maybe it is because I am a heathen savage without your white education, but I still do not understand why destroying our village was funny to the whites. The early chiefs also did not understand, and when they tried to play this joke back on the whites, it only made them very angry. So angry, in fact, they began playing these jokes to native tribes across America. It was like the Native American Genocide Comedy Tour, as detachments of soldiers were sent out to burn and destroy our villages, and bounties were placed on our scalps. There is not enough time to give you all the details, but here are some reviews from this comedy tour. In Connecticut, Captain John Mason instructed his soldiers to take no prisoners as they surrounded a Pequot town and set it alight. Over 800 women, children, and helpless old men were burned alive, and those who tried to escape were hilariously cut down by swords and axes. That was very funny. A witness to the Sand Creek Massacre told us about the jokes played on our people there. He said they were scalped, their brains knocked out. The men used their knives and ripped open women, clubbed little children, beat their brains out, and mutilated their bodies in a non-stop laugh riot. At Wounded Knee, women holding their infants, standing around the flag of truce, were gunned down without hesitation. After the massacre continued for a time, a call went out to all the hiding children that if they came out of their hiding places, their lives would be spared. And as the children came out, they were gathered together and butchered. How clever and funny these white soldiers were to trick and murder frightened children. Now, I know some of you may be saying to yourself, "You Indians did your share of the killing," and I don't deny this. But keep in mind, this was our home. I ask you how you would react to an invader to your land, who brought disease, who burned your homes, who slaughtered your families. Yes, we did try to fight back, but our arrows were no match for your guns and your sense of humor. In the end, what was left of us were herded onto isolated reservations where we could not provide for ourselves. They came and took our children away to boarding schools where they were not allowed to speak our language or practice our traditions. We negotiated for peace, but your white leaders were not interested in peace. Your great writer Frank Baum said, "The nobility of the redskin is extinguished, and what few are left are a pack of whining curs who lick the hand that smites them. The whites, by law of conquest, by justice of civilization, are masters of the American continent, and the best safety for our frontier settlements will be secured by the total annihilation of the few remaining Indians. Better they should die than to live the miserable wretches that they are." To the white leaders, we were not even considered human. They saw us as an inconvenience that stood in the way of their conquest and greed. The white man intended to exterminate us, just as they exterminated the once mighty hordes of buffalo that ran free across our plains. I tell you this not because we seek sympathy. And to be clear, we do not blame all whites for the atrocities committed. But there are men of great power who have no regard for human life. They tried to wipe us from the earth when we became inconvenient to them, and they will do the same to whoever they find inconvenient. And this is my warning to you, that someday they might find you inconvenient, and they will come for you and your family, and then it will not be so funny. But now the sad story of our past is over, and I will now speak of a new hope for our people, thanks to a man named Captain William Tucker, who invited us here tonight. Will Tucker's treaty proposes an end of hostilities between our people, and an opportunity to peacefully live together, that we may learn from each other and prosper in harmony and with respect. I like this proposal very much, so I came with my 100 best warriors, and I am now ready to sign Will Tucker's treaty.
Why, thank you, Cheif Runs With Scissors, and I would like to celebrate this treaty with a toast. So while you sign, let's pass out a glass of wine to you and all of your 100 warriors.
Thank you. You again show great generosity.
My pleasure, Chief.
There, and now the treaty, it is signed.
Fantastic. Chief, warriors, raise your glasses. Tonight we drink to you and your people. May you find the peace that you are searching for. Cheers!
The wine tastes good. Feels warm in my belly. Wait, something is wrong. And now I feel dizzy and sick.
Yep, that would be the poison we put in your wine. In a minute, you and your best 100 warriors will be dead, leaving your village undefended, as we ride in there at dawn to wipe the rest of you out.
But why?
I got 2 reasons for you, Chief. First off, your village just happens to be in the way of our new golf course. But second, and most important, massacring you stupid, uncivilized barbarians is just a heck of a lot of fun.
You have tricked us again, and with my last breath, I ask the Great Spirit to curse your people, that your own greed and ignorance will someday be your own destruction.
Well, Chief, I just don't see how that could possibly ever happen.
When people think of the worst crimes ever committed against humanity, most people think of the genocides committed by Adolf Hitler or Joseph Stalin. But how many Americans remember the state-sponsored genocide our own government carried out against the Native Americans? Now, of course, people prefer the sanitized Happy Thanksgiving version of American history that we were taught in elementary school. But it doesn't change the fact that in the name of protecting the American citizens, our government did murder tens of thousands of innocent men, women, and children. And I don't expect people nowadays to feel guilty for something that happened so long ago, but I will remind you that our government currently, in the name of protecting the American citizen, continues to murder innocent men, women, and children, and will continue doing so until the American public wakes up, says this is wrong, and we will not do it anymore. If you'd like more information on the Native American Holocaust, I recommend a book called Lies My Teacher Told Me by James Lowen, and a documentary called The Canary Effect, Kill the Indian, Save the Man. May the Great Spirit be with you.